Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It is a beautiful Thursday morning. Today is February 6th, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. I am very thankful for those of you that attended yesterday's training. We had kind of an overview training, and the feedback that we received was very strong. So if you missed yesterday's training or any of the past trainings, be sure to consider going to view those on our YouTube channel. But today is February 6th, and our topic today is understanding two ways of earning income to help others. Now, every once in a while, someone will say, well, man, all we talk about is making money, making money. Well, this is our reseller support Zoom. So if you have signed up as a reseller, you're probably here to get paid to help other people. If you are a client or a prospective client, it's okay. You understand the economics of how the model works. None of us are fools, right? Whether it be Walmart or your water company or a bank or us, every business has a business development side as well as the customer side. And so we're just very transparent. So you're correct. Our morning Zooms are set for our resellers. So yeah, we assume that if you have signed up as a reseller or you're considering becoming a reseller, that's because you're interested in getting paid to help others. So we're going to go through a quick conversation on that. Anytime you have questions, comments, concerns, type those into the Q&A. And then, of course, we want to go apply this knowledge and get paid today. Appreciate everyone's patience. We are growing quickly. A lot of volume coming in from many of you. Our average reseller, so I'm addressing you, assuming that that's why you're here. Our average reseller is generating a deal a day. Now, there are some that do more, some that do less, but the average is doing a deal a day. We have a number of you that are consistently doing 5 to 10 deals a day. Doesn't matter to me. It's up to you. You control your income as a reseller. But the bottom line is the more active our resellers are, the busier we get. The way that we're dealing with that is we're opening numerous Shelf Corp stores. The stores, there's no cost to have a store, but the stores operate differently. They're the client interface. So that helps back off the administrative load. So appreciate your patience. Things are going really, really well. Many of you are certainly at 6 digits or more per month in income. And we'll talk today about the two ways to make income, earn income by helping others. So if there's two ways, let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to look at income model number one. No real surprise that if you're a reseller or considering becoming a reseller, you would get paid to help clients. Now, you can attach whatever label you want, but we did the Audrey model last week or a couple weeks ago as a success story. A number of you are going out to the marketplace identifying yourself as a grant coordinator. That makes a lot of sense. And if you want us to set up a nonprofit for you that you're the CEO of, but also grant coordinator, that's a title that seems to resonate really well. So let's talk about how you would make money yourself, and then we'll get to income model number two, which is making money from others. All right, so what are a few facts? And if at any point you feel like I'm full of BS or smoke and mirrors, you don't agree, respond and we'll debate it out. That's a good, healthy thing. I believe, and I hope that you'll agree, most entrepreneurs, now don't get hung up with the title, small business owners, people that want to own businesses, whatever title you want to give them, let's just call them entrepreneurs. Most of them want or need money to start, to grow, to reach their potential. Not all, but most do. So we are in an incredible market where nearly every small business owner is a prospect for what you and I do of helping people with a Shelf Corp. And again, it looks like Claude's asking, so everyone should have a landing page. Your landing page could be different, but this is the standard landing page that we provide through the reseller marketing package. And so this is where you'd be driving your prospects, but that's not really where we're at right now. So let's focus on the agenda here. So number one, it's not that we have some unique, rare service or offering that's hard to find a prospective client. It's the opposite of that. Pretty much anywhere you look and find an entrepreneur, there's a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 chance that they want money or more money to start or grow. So great market potential. Gets better. Now, the problem is, and we've covered this so many times, and if you remember one thing from our discussion today, what's the key to getting business funding? You need to have a fundable business. Most people don't know what that means. Most people don't have a fundable business. That's what makes you different than just about everyone else. You know, and we talked about this in yesterday's training, there's a formula for funding. Like if someone came to you and said, "Oh, Floyd, no one can ever get a mortgage. That's impossible." Well, no, there's underwriting to get a mortgage. There's underwriting for pretty much anything that's financed, including business loans. Most people just don't have the financial literacy that you have, Jocelyn, that you have, Jordan. We have 629 of you on this morning. So you all know or should know that there's a formula for funding, but most people don't know that, and that keeps them from getting the money that they want. So there's a whole lot of people that need what you and I do, and they don't qualify on their own. They need assistance. So with that being said, we can together go provide them the solution to their problem. Because what's the problem? They want money, but they don't qualify. They want money, but they don't qualify. So as we've talked about before, there's the buy versus build equation. Same with chocolate chip cookies, right? You got a craving for a chocolate chip cookie. You can bake one yourself or you can go buy one. Both of them are good options, two different options, which is quicker, which is easier, which is more convenient to buy a damn cookie, right? So if we want to have business funding, we can either go create a fundable business or we can just simply provide them one. And that's with a fundable shelf corp. The value proposition, if you're any good at all at selling, and forgive me, I mean, as a reseller, that's kind of why that word's right in the middle. Sell, right? Because ultimately, you're communicating with your prospect or driving them into your landing page to let the technology do it. But the bottom line is we're selling shelf corps, but the value proposition is crazy good, right? So number one, it solves their problem and there's no upfront cost. Now, some of you are charging clients upfront, and that is your choice. One of our top producing resellers, he does charge clients upfront because he doesn't want to, I'm trying to use appropriate adult language. He doesn't want to mess around with unserious prospects. So one of our top producers charges the client up front. It's not an extra cost, but just requires essentially a down payment. But our model is if you're collecting anything up front, you keep it. That's your money. Because we prefer to go to the marketplace where we alleviate that objection. Hey, if you want money to start or grow a business, if you don't have a fundable business, we can provide a solution to that and not a penny of upfront cost. So that's a very strong value proposition. Now, as we went into more detail yesterday, they will need to pay for the fundable shelf corp, nothing out of pocket. They will need to pay for it, but because of the grant, they actually get reimbursed. So in the end, they get it reimbursed for it. So it is free in the end. So in the front, there's no cost. We're going to finance the cost of the shelf corp, and then they'll get a full reimbursement from the grant. Another key selling point is it's fast. People in today's society, they want to move fast. They want to see results fast. They're going to get $100,000 transferred to them legally and ethically, really, within the first 24 hours. And then we need right about a week to get all the paperwork to them for the shelf corp to apply for a loan. So what I'm attempting to accomplish here is just some key selling points. but I know you all come from a wide variety of backgrounds, and so some of you just you're not cut out to be a reseller. So you would be much better off to do income model number two, which we've not gotten to yet. But some of you enjoy helping others, and you know how to close deals, you know how to facilitate a contract, and so income model number one offers some great income potential. So let's talk about that. I'm not here, nor am I going to get sued for over promoting how much money you'll make. I don't know how much money you'll make as a reseller. I know it costs you nothing to sign up to be a reseller, so it's not a pay to play service. There's no cost, and I'll give you the link to get set up for free, no contract even. But you pick your income. So it's what's commonly called in the marketplace a white label or a private label approach. So you're going to get paid up front from each client. You determine how much. So we're the back office fulfillment. You're reselling a shelf corp and you pick your markup, just like Walmart, right? Walmart decides how much money they make on each jar of peanut butter. They could mark it up a quarter, they could mark it up $1, they could have sales, they could have discounts. Walmart can sell the Jiffy peanut butter however they want. You can sell the shelf corps for whatever you want as a reseller, but most of you are marking it up anywhere from 5 to 25,000. Up to you. Up to you. But that's your upfront income. And then we do an even 50-50 split off the capital raise. We charge clients 10% of the money raised, very reasonable market rate. We split that right down the middle with you, 50-50. So how much would you make per client? Well, assuming that you're making $5,000 off the front end, which you pick, assuming that you are making 5% off the back end, which you will, that's what we pay, assuming that the client does a normal capital raise, which is $1 million, then you're looking at 55,000 for each client you refer in to your landing page. Now, there's two ways to look at that. I talk to some of you and you blow it off like, oh, only 55,000. I can't believe this. Well, if you need to make more, charge more. To me, that's a pretty decent income for referring someone into your landing page. But I don't know, what's your feedback before I go on? So, Jordan, welcome to the Zoom this morning. I think it's your first time on. Is 55,000 reasonable? Or is that an insult to you, Jordan and Jessica? We've got 630 of you on, so I don't want to name everyone's. I'm just curious, what's your feedback? Toily, you're one of our big hitters. What's your feedback, Toily? Is 55,000 for referring someone in, is that an insult to you, or is that acceptable? I'm just curious what everyone thinks. Because if you think it's attractive, we need to be active and doing this more often. And if you think it's unattractive, then we either need to increase the price so you make enough that you're motivated, or move to model number two, which let's go ahead and go to model number two. So income model two, model one is where we're doing it. Model two is we let other people do it. Now, we're not MLM, we're not network marketing. There's none of that drama or criticism of those types of models. But instead, it's essentially an override. If you probably subscribe to the Wall Street Journal the way I do, Walmart has store managers and Walmart has regional managers that are responsible for a cluster of stores. I think normally around 10 to 12. They just increased the pay for Walmart regional managers, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now they're making about 600,000 a year. So you could argue that that regional manager is making an override, right? The regional manager is not running a store. The regional manager is not working an individual store, but the regional manager makes an override of the production of Walmart stores. I mean, it's common in business. And if you don't think that's true, then respectfully, you're wrong. So there's typically people that do the work And then there's typically people that get paid overrides for managing. And so you can do that as well. So let's go through how model number 2 works. And yes, I see Todd's asking, can you do both? Sure, you can do both. Okay, model number 2. So it's real simple. You're paying an override of the people that do this. So you're like the regional manager of Walmart making 600,000. You're not running the register. You're not selling the women's underwear. You are managing a team. Now, the income, it's not going to wow you, but what's really cool is it's set off the same model that the what we'll call the producer makes. So you would also, if you wanted to build a team, which again, it's not network marketing, it's not MLM, so don't give us the wrong label. But if you wanted to get paid overrides, that's essentially what it is. It's not get rich quick. It's not the type of money that a lot of you are making already, but it's the same as the producer. You also make 5,000 up front. You also make 5% of the capital raise. Thus, you're looking at right about 55,000. So obviously, when it comes to selling, which is right in the middle of the word reseller, it's a volume game, right? So if you look at 55,000 for override for Model 2 and say, I can't afford to live off that, that's horrible. Well, then have more people out selling, so you're getting more overrides, right? It's just a simple math. Or have them produce more than one a month. All right, so then the resources here at the bottom are the same. They typically don't change. QuickCash, which isn't relevant to today's topic, but if you need QuickCash, that's on 509 Pacific. If you're not a reseller and you want to become one, no contract to sign, no money to pay. Simple. Just email us. Email us, and we will send you the implementation packet. No strings attached. Can't beat it. If you want to talk to someone, Madison is the one to talk to. Madison uh, has had some phone challenges that hopefully we're getting resolved. We have a really nice, expensive phone system, but I don't know if we're exceeding its volume or what's happening. But if Madison's been slow to call you back, we apologize. But we're got our IT people fixing the phone system. But you can call her, and that's the same phone number that is on 509 Pacific. So keep in mind, we essentially have two entities. We have our nonprofit, our 501c3, which is 509 Pacific. And the phone number that you'll see on 509 Pacific is there. We also have a collection agency. We are licensed, bonded, and insured as a collection agency. That is a different number, 903-200-8781, different staff. So some of you will call the collection agency and say, hey, I need to talk to Madison. And then the receptionist of the collection agency says, what? We don't have any Madison here. So then you all get confused. Madison works for the nonprofit. She does not work for the collection agency. And then you can always go back and access our past trainings on YouTube. All right, so let's dig into your questions, comments, concerns. Because again, our time together is only valuable if you turn around and go apply it, if you go use it. So let's make sure that before we hop off here in a couple minutes, you know what you need to do to either A, make money from direct production, and or B, making money from overrides. All right, so Pauline's got a question, and it's an important one. So there is no cost to be a reseller. Let's actually even add it up here just to make sure, because I know that sometimes there's confusion. So point one, no cost to be a reseller. And how do you become a reseller? Email us, we'll get you set up. No contract to sign, no production requirements. There is a cost for the reseller marketing package called RMP. So we've had a separate training on that. If you didn't see that training or you don't remember, you can go back and go see the past training. But essentially, that's where we will provide you a landing page, but it's more than just a landing page. It has the automation. So when your prospects come in, it'll drip to them We'll set up an e-signature of your contract, so they're automatically getting your contract. It's prompting them to sign up. It essentially automates the system to either remove you from needing to do anything in role number one, or at least complement what you're doing. So no cost to be a reseller, but for us to go have someone build, because it's a one-off, right? Everyone doesn't get the same. While the landing page may look similar, it's linked to you, it's linked to your contract. So there's cost associated with that. So yes, there is a cost, but you do not have to do the reseller marketing package. However, if you want to earn the overrides, we do need to have you and your team both in the RMP. Otherwise, we don't have the technological linkage to know to pay you. Because let's break this down. As an income number one, it's what we call a reseller, a white label, private label. You are paid directly by the client. You're not waiting for us. You're paid upfront directly. However, in the override, you are being paid by us. So we need to know when we owe you overrides. And so we have to have the system in place. So that's a great point. I'm all about transparency. So if you want to leverage model number two, which you don't have to, you would need the reseller marketing package, because we have to be able to know who to pay you overrides on. Okay. Let's see. Ainsley says trying to reach us about purchasing a Shelf Corp. Okay, so Ainsley, let's do this. Sorry if we didn't get back to you. Ainsley, if you want to email us, then we'll get back to you right after the Zoom. Sorry if there was a delay. And sometimes we don't get back to folks immediately. We try to get back to them within 24 hours. But Ainsley, if there's anything we can help you with, email us and we'll prioritize it. All right. Yolanda brings up a good point. So, and it's a very important point, so it's worth getting our notepad out again. So there are two phases of the process. That's a little generic, but it'll make sense in a second. So first, we must have a fundable business. Two, then we go to funding. So this is huge, 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 huge. People will come to you and they'll say, no, I don't want a Shelf Corp. I just want money. Just give me my MF money. Well, great. Do you have a fundable business? If so, then you're right. They don't need a Shelf Corp. They need to go to funding. But it's rare that they actually have a fundable business. A lot of times they don't even know what that means. So step one is we need to create a fundable business, and theoretically you can buy or build a fundable business. Buy means Shelf Corp, build means create one off. Then we go to funding. So Yolanda's question is, do we help them with number two? Absolutely, but it's a second step. Most of the time, and this is going to be very controversial, and you're going to either dismiss it or it won't resonate with you, but I'm going to say it because I feel strongly. Most people get it wrong. When they come to you and say, oh yeah, Jordan, I need money to start or grow a business, what they really should be saying is, hey, Jordan or Jocelyn or Madison or Maria or whomever they're talking to, hey, I need to have a fundable business. Because once you have a fundable business, it's not so hard to get funding. If you don't have a fundable business, good fucking luck getting funded. So yes, of course, we help with both of those steps, but the emphasis has to be on number one, because if we don't have number one, number two is never going to happen. But most people don't think that way, and that's why they don't have success. That's why it's so valuable what you and I do. Shelf Corp. So Shelf Corps are coming, Rod's question about Shelf Corp. So Shelf Corps essentially are coming to them pre-built. And so then we can make any changes after it's delivered to them that they want. We can change the names, we can change industries, we can change the financials, the business plan, but the Shelf Corp It's like the buy or build rod. So when you go to that little stand at the mall and they sell you a chocolate chip cookie, you're getting their chocolate chip cookie. Now, if you want to take that and then put some icing on it, or you want to eat it with a fork and knife and cut it, you can do with the cookie what you want because now it's yours. So the Shelf Corp is going to come to them standardized, and then yes, then we can make whatever edits they want to make to it afterwards. Names, size of capital raise, so forth. All right. Now, Jessica says that making 55,000 isn't really attractive, but it is acceptable. So, Jessica, let's dig into that because I know some of you are very big hitters. So, what do you think, Jessica, would be more than acceptable? What do you think would be attractive to you? If we could set up an economic model, Jessica, where you made enough money per deal that it was not just okay, which 55,000 to you is just okay. It's not attractive. How much would we have to get in your pocket per referral to motivate you? And I guess that's the question because some of you, you come on the trainings, but you don't produce. So apparently, we're not offering you enough economic incentive. And the truth is, you control your economic incentive. Now, the back end is fixed at 5%, but if you feel that you need to make more money up front, that's okay. You're able to change that to whatever you want. It doesn't mean that the client has to pay money up front, it just means that we're going to the contract that they sign from you as a reseller is going to have a higher purchase price, and then we'll get that financed. Let's see. All right, so Yolanda, if I can understand correctly, so if you want to make overrides, but you don't want to use the reseller marketing package, that's fine, and so I'll describe how that works. Then we'll just call them your reps, representatives, your reps. Your reps would be invisible to us. If you use this system, then we can track it, we can pay everybody, we can report. But I think Yolanda's saying, hey, I want to earn override. She wants to earn overrides, but she doesn't want landing page and us to track it. Fine. So you can be signed up as a reseller, which costs nothing. You can hire your own reps. You can train them. You can support them. We don't even need to know who they are. It's between you and them. They go out and either prospect or teach or whatever you want them to do. You pay them out of your portion, and we don't need to know anything about them. But if you want us to pay them so you get overrides, then we need to use the system so we can track who's who. All right. Jordan brings up a good point, and I think that is some confusion. So I want you to almost think about that there's two rounds of funding, and we'll close on this. So typically, the first round of funding is to pay for the Shelf Corp, right? So if there's a cost, which you pick, and we're not making them pay up front, which we don't, then the first round of funding is going to be to pay you for the damn Shelf Corp. So that would be round one, or what we call first tranche financing, first round financing, FTF for short. So you sign up the client, you upload the client into the portal. If you don't have the portal, let us know and we'll get you set up. But until you have a client, then you don't need the portal. But once you have a signed client, we'll get you a first signed client, we'll get you a portal. If you need one, call Madison. And then you'll upload that contract, and then we will send to the client the finance app. So that's the first round of funding. So they can pay you for the Shelf Corp without anything out of pocket. Then once they've paid for the Shelf Corp, then we transfer the 100,000 in 24 hours. That's going to be an AR. We can liquidate that if they want. We're going to deliver the Shelf Corp in a week, and then we can go for the larger funding because now they have the business. They're buying an asset. Think of it as a couch. So the Super Bowl's coming up this Sunday. So you want a new couch. Can you go to the furniture store and say, hey, I like that couch, bring it to my house. I want to use it for my Super Bowl party. Well, they'd say, well, sure, buy it. So that's true with any asset. Normally, you buy it, and then once you buy it, you can use the asset. So the Shelf Corp won't be used for the first round of funding. The first round of funding will be used to purchase the Shelf Corp. Then we can provide the deliverables. Then we can go to funding for the large business funding because now they have a fundable business. Because remember, we said most want money, but most don't have a fundable business. Well, they get a fundable business by buying a Shelf Corp from you, but they need to pay for the Shelf Corp before they can use it, just like the couch. Okay, so we covered a lot. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully not too confusing. QuickCash again on 509 Pacific. If you're not a reseller but want to become one, you can email us here. If you need to talk to someone, Madison's got a little more time to talk than I do. You can call her. If you missed any past trainings, I encourage you to view those. But at some point, at some point we need to go implement. So from my perspective, if you've asked to be a reseller, we should have sent you the packet. You're ready to start making money today. If you're making excuses, that's on you. But we'll be back tomorrow morning to continue to support you. So let's go help people. Let's go make money and make a difference. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.